watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker! Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker! Thank you so much, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Walker. Our favorite. We love you.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show. Don't mind me. I'm just taking care of some last-minute stuff here. Hope everybody's well this morning. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show. We are live on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, the YouTube page, the Facebook channel, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. I said it backwards. If you're watching on Facebook, please subscribe to the page, follow the page, do all that stuff. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the thumbs up and all that stuff. No matter where you're watching from, share the link all over your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast. We are live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club. And speaking of legends, Frank is here, and Mark Newman will be joining us in a minute. He's just tuning up and getting himself together. And I think like all musicians, he's probably taking drugs. So, that's what it would help if your mic was on.
It's a great way to start.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, I think I'm all set now. Okay, good. Good morning. John Rusciello says good morning. Please, yes, if you'd like to comment and be a part of the conversation, maybe request a tune or something, head on over to the YouTube feed because that is where we monitor the comments. We appreciate all the support, and we're glad you guys are with us. So while we're waiting on Mark, we have other things to talk about anyway. New York Mets, baby.
Oh, yeah.
New York Mets, baby. Oh, how cool was that last night? You know, I don't know about you, but for me, just sitting there watching it, in Game 7 of '86, you had Game 6 where they came back, the whole famous play.
Right.
So you're riding that wave. So people forget on Game 7, the Mets are actually losing 3-0.
Right.
People seem to forget that, but because you just kind of knew that the Mets were going to come back and win it somehow. It was like automatic.
Right.
And that was the same vibe I had last night. That
Absolutely.
It was just a matter, they were only losing 1-0 for a while. And you just knew it was a matter of time before they were going to come back and kick butt, which is exactly what they did.
Yep.
So, we're all in a good mood this morning. Mark, are you a Met fan by any chance? He's very quiet. Is he going to beat me up? What's going on? Are you a baseball fan? You don't have to be. It's okay.
Well, wait. So I grew up in a Yankees household.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
The Mets weren't even in existence.
Oh, okay.
That's how old I am.
You're not that old. Are you really?
Well, we don't have to go there. So, everything was about the Yankees.
All right.
When the Mets, although my kids in '86 were total Mets fans. I would take them out to buy sneakers, and like Darryl Strawberry or Roger
McDowell?
Yeah. Roger McDowell was great. He was talking to my kids. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I stood on a line waiting to talk to them, and they were great.
Oh,
that's cool.
Keith Hernandez used to do it. I mean, these guys were everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And who was the guy that hit the last? Wasn't it the catcher, Gary?
Gary Carter?
Yeah. Didn't he end the game in '86?
No.
That's how much of a fan I am.
Ray Knight was hit, I think, the winning home run in Game 7.
Did he?
If I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Ray Knight because he got the MVP, the World Series MVP. But yeah, Carter had a couple of shots. He had a couple home runs in the World Series. I had the pleasure of meeting him several times. One of the nicest people you ever meet in your life, Gary Carter. Super nice guy. But yeah, we're very excited. As Met fans, we're not used to winning, and we don't win often. So we're taking it. We're taking it, and up yours, Philly.
Nice.
Philly, I like the town, but the people suck. So they booed the other night when Brandon Nimmo hurt his foot. They were booing him.
You realize I can never go to Philadelphia again.
Well, you didn't say it, so don't take it out on Mark or Frank. It's me. I said it. And I again, before we get going, I am going to show a quick news clip. Just give you an example of what the people are like in Philly now that they've lost. So watch
playoff
this.
Series loss really hurts for fans because the Phillies finished the regular season with the second best record in all of baseball, and many analysts had picked them for a return to the World Series.
I was already picking out my outfits for the parade, the whole thing. But it doesn't matter if you don't show up in the playoffs. Action News reporter Corey Davis is live outside the bank, where fans were hoping our boys would come back, finish it out, and move on Friday.
Yeah, you know, Tam and Matt, I didn't wear red today. Almost wore all black because of how this all turned out. But fans are saying they were just disappointed across the board. They wanted better coaching. They wanted more from the players, especially on offense, but the players just couldn't get a hit.
I think somebody's going to get fired. I think, what's that, Rob Thompson? I don't think he's going to hold on the job that long.
So you got to let Ranger Suarez pitch until his arm falls off. You took him out the game, it was 1-0. You went to the bullpen, they gave up a grand slam. It's just no good. It's bad coaching. But the Phillies also, they got to hit. They got to score runs.
Yeah, the bullpen's just not reliable.
So you heard it there. Fans wanted better pitching. They say the bullpen was disappointing, as well as players' inability to score on offense. So we got a mix of responses from fans who throughout the game who thought, when they said they thought it was over for the Phillies. Some say they thought it was over as early as the 6th inning when the Mets took the lead 4-1. Others held out until the very end, hoping for a home run to tie the game.
All right, that's all I needed to show.
Oh, that's funny.
The first guy, the manager, and then the other guy, a grand slam, and then they show the girl doing the sign of the cross twice. I mean, it's just a game for. Look,
Yeah.
There she goes, doing the sign of the cross
3 times.
3 times. It's just a game for crying out loud, you idiots. But yeah, Philadelphia, screw them. So now we're all excited, and yeah. And did you see the celebrations last night? Were you
part of it?
What's his name? Manaea, the pitcher. Manaea. He jumped into the stands.
Oh, I didn't see
and
that.
He was high-fiving people. Yeah, it was
funny.
awesome. It was awesome. John Rusciello says, neither tornado, hurricane, or storms will not stop me from watching today's show. Oh, thank you, John. And yeah, I hope you guys did all right. Sounds like Florida didn't really get it as bad as we initially thought. So, which is great news. Great news. All right. One more thing before we get to Mark, and then the rest of the show is all you, pal. You. What in the world? Yeah, talk about your dog.
Oh, God.
What in the world is going on here?
Yeah, we took...
Start from the beginning.
Yeah, we took both our dogs to a groomer, local. And every month or so we do this. And
every month you do that?
Like 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Okay.
And we've been taking them to them for a while, and it's always been great. But this past week, we get back, we get called. They always call us saying, all right, you got a 20-minute call, they'll be ready in 20 minutes. Okay, so we head back. We get back, and the groomer went up to Tammy and says, we're not charging you for one of the dogs, for Luna. We're not charging you for her. And left it at that. She's like, okay, why? And she starts checking the dog to see if she's all right. They were trimming her face. Luna decided to give her a kiss and clipped her tongue. Yeah. And there's a picture. I didn't think to bring it, but there's a picture.
But what do you mean clipped it?
Like cut it off.
Cut it off. All right, that's why I'm asking. That's more than a clip.
She said we cut her tongue. That's how they say we cut her tongue.
Cut her tongue or cut her tongue off?
Well, it wound up being off, but they didn't say off.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like how much of it?
There's a good portion. I got a picture. I'll see if I can...
Like half?
No, it's just a corner.
It's
a corner of it.
A corner.
But it's enough that you'll notice it. And they're offering to pay for everything. They send us all any bills you get from the vet and all this kind of stuff. We went to the vet right away. They looked it over, and she's been on meds ever since. We went again yesterday or the day before, and they found that it's swollen. That section where it was cut.
But
so they added more meds to it.
Isn't that to be expected? I mean, they cut a part of the tongue off, so why wouldn't? Of course, it's going to be swollen. So what do they think? She's in pain or something?
Well, they think so. She constantly licks her lips, or licks the air, kind of thing.
Since or all the time?
Since.
Oh, since. Okay.
So, but she's not crying. She's not like that. But that might be her sign of it.
Oh.
That she's doing that. So now they added more meds to it, and we're watching her. And
So when they chopped it, they cut a piece off. They didn't call a vet right away to see if they can get it reattached or something.
Well, we got the vet right away. Well, they can't reattach it, and it doesn't grow back, unfortunately. Yeah. So let me find the right picture of this here. So
They can't reattach it because they waited. Or
No.
yeah, look at that. Or they can't. Or that's normal. Normally they can't reattach it.
Yeah, see, go ahead.
I asked you a question.
Oh, go say it again. I'm sorry.
They can't reattach it because they waited so long, or
they just can't.
Normally they wouldn't.
Normally they can't do that. No. But it's enough to be noticeable.
Wow. Yeah, it is. But all right, but it doesn't look like it's really a hell of a lot. So is it going to affect anything? Does it mean anything?
It's not going to do anything overall. No.
It's just going to heal and she'll be fine.
Right, but you'll just be forever looking like that. So she's, we're very upset by it. And
yeah, it's like your kids.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
And so they did it, and so you're saying they didn't even call you to tell you what happened.
They didn't call to tell us at the time. They called for the 20-minute advance notice to come. They didn't tell us then on the phone. They waited till we got there, and first all they said was, "We're not charging you."
Right. Didn't
say why. She had to egg them on to give the rest of the story. It bled at the time.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was bleeding at the time. They said they gave her water and they was able to stop the bleeding. So it wasn't bleeding by the time we got there.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, she didn't seem like she was upset. The other one, the bigger one, was upset by it because they were in separate rooms getting groomed.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell us how she reacted, but I guess when they cut, she must have yelped or cried or something.
Well, yeah.
The other one reacted to it.
Oh, wow.
Because he's very sensitive, and he's been checking her ever since. He goes up to her every other minute and kisses her.
Oh, wow.
Checks on her. And, yeah, it's so it's just troubling. So she's looking for someone else to do it instead, and all this kind of stuff. So, and the fact that they're cooperating, the only reason why we're not freaking out over it.
Yeah, and they're going to pay all the bills, which is nice.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Any signs of PTSD?
On the dog, yeah. On the other dog, yeah.
Wow,
Not on her.
That's a crazy freaking story.
That would be on me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So, but yeah, Tammy's on the fence about what to do about this, but
well, what can you do? Like you said, you can't reattach it, and it's not going to grow back. So, what can you do?
But I mean, as far as with the groomer itself.
Oh, you mean like suing?
I don't know, probably not, but
yeah, I mean, what's that going to do?
Yeah. So
and
we'll
then and even the dog. It's not like the dog is can testify. I'm just not the same.
Yeah. You don't understand.
But Davey.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So one of the comments here is, Frank, you should call an attorney about your dog and file a lawsuit. Oh, all right.
All right.
Make some money off the dog. Why not?
Yeah, we're talking options, so we'll see.
All right. Yeah, that's got to be one of the craziest things I think I've heard in a while.
Oh, the vet was besides themselves. They're like, we'd never heard of this.
Really?
We told them who the groomer was, and they said, we have cards from them. Like they dropped off stuff to promote them.
Oh yeah. So
and then yeah, probably.
Right. Wow.
So.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Like I said, luckily, because of how she's not really reacting, it's calming us down. But still, it's enough to be unsettled. So.
Okay, well, with that, ladies and gentlemen,
anyway,
we have a special guest today. Mark Newman is here, guitar extraordinaire.
That's too much to live up to.
No, it's not. So the first question I have for you, Mark, where is it? I looked. So of course I'm doing my my research.
Uh-oh.
I saw a video. I don't know if it's a video of you playing a song I never heard. Okay, so I'm assuming I might be an original. I don't know. And I don't even know if I have the title right, but "Running Hard in the Rain" with that.
Yeah, it's called "Hard in the Rain."
Hard in the Rain. Is that one of yours?
Co-wrote with You Won't Believe Who.
Oh, I won't believe who? Paul McCartney.
Not even close.
Let's see. So, but it's somebody we would know.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is it local?
Nope. Okay, I'm not gonna keep you guessing.
No, I'm gonna guess. Because I've done my research and I've seen some people you've worked with, so I'll start with Sam Moore.
No.
Okay.
But
That
you're
was my
close.
guess. I was close. Dave. Sam and Dave.
No.
I don't know what Dave's
I was
last
gonna
name.
say Sting, but
Yeah.
No, Dave was long gone by then.
Right.
I used to. Well, go ahead. You want to guess one more time? You got the first name right.
yeah, okay. Oh, I what? I
You got the first name right.
Oh, all right. My next host was going to be John Oates.
No.
Because you've worked with him. So I got the first name right. David Lee Roth, David Gilmour.
No, the other name.
Sam?
Yeah.
Oh. Sam. Sam. Sammy Hagar. Trying to think of
Older
than Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar.
Can you imagine?
Well, that guy's pushing he's almost 80.
Yeah.
Sam.
I'll give you. All right. His real first name is Domingo. Now I'll give you his last name.
Okay, sure.
Samudio.
Domingo Samudio. I think Phil Collins wrote a song. Sam
I just heard that song the other day.
So his real name is Domingo Samudio.
Correct.
But I don't know who that. Sam.
I'll give you another hint.
Come on. You can't think of a musician.
Domingo
Sam.
Samudio.
This was my first road gig.
Yeah.
This guy called me up. Actually, one of my friends ran into this guy at the bank. They were using the same guy in L.A. to administer their publishing, and he said in his kind of southern accent, "I'm looking for a guitar player to play a slide."
Oh, we're not talking Sam Moore, are we?
No.
Oh,
You
all
just
right.
said that before.
No, not Sam Moore. Never mind. Keep going.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I got confused with Scotty Moore. Never mind. I had the S's and the Moores, and never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so my friend tells me this guy's going to call, and I'm going, yeah, okay. I had pretty new to L.A. at that time, and this guy calls me up. Hey, is this Mark? This is
Sam Phillips.
I met Sam Phillips.
Damn it! I thought I had it.
No, but I met Sam Phillips through this guy.
Oh wow! All right, so we're on the right track.
You want me to just tell you?
Look, keep going with the
We
story.
got till 12:30, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So keep going with the story. This sounds great.
So he said, "This is Sam. I'm thinking it's my friend screwing with me."
Right. Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember if I hung up. No, I talked to him, and anyway, so I'll give you a hint.
How far did you get in the conversation before you realized it was the real guy?
Probably about 5 minutes.
Ah, Sam the Sham.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Sam the Sham.
Wow.
What a great tune that is. I love that song.
Yeah.
So I had written this song instrumentally for my band in the 90s. Had a band called Dow Jones, spelled Taojones.
Oh, that's funny.
So this was an instrumental piece, and he called me to do. So Sam called me to do a bunch of gigs with him, and I said, so I released it as an instrumental.
Oh.
And I said, Sam, because he played all through the South, and he's actually a great blues singer.
Oh yeah.
You would never, from Wooly Bully, you wouldn't.
It's the only song I know of him. Yeah.
Right, but he's written some amazing blues songs.
No kidding.
So I had breakfast, and I said, "Listen, man, I'm having a lot of trouble writing lyrics for this song." I said, "I've got a feel for something, but I'm a white Jewish guy from Long Island, and I'm just not nailing it."
Doing blues songs about bagels.
Yeah. So the two of us hashed it out. He wrote most of the lyrics, and so we had a gig in Europe, and I brought him to the studio before we left for Europe.
Right.
And I said, "Do me a favor, sing the second verse." "No, man, I don't know." So anyway, I got him to sing the second verse. The whole way there, he's complaining to me, "Man, I didn't like my performance on that." So we get back, we land in Newark, and the bass player on the gig, it was his studio.
Right.
We went right to the studio, and I made him do it again. And it's the best thing about the song. So that's Hard in the Rain. He wrote, most of the lyrics.
Nice. Wow, that's incredible. I had, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed your slide work, I had no idea. I mean, Sam the Sham, again, only know him for the one song. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's quite a character.
Still around?
Yeah.
Really?
He's 87.
Wow.
I spoke to his daughter the beginning of February, and she had asked me to come down for his 87th birthday in Memphis. So I went down, had dinner with his family, and when I go to see him at least once a year, sometimes twice. He's pretty much retired, and he still sings great.
Is he kind of like is there a following for him? Is he still a name in certain areas, or?
Well, he would do all these oldies shows where you'd do 4 songs.
Right.
But his show was different from any other act. That was like Bowser used to do these things called Bowser's Rock and Roll Party.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he would always call Sam to do it. Sam would have to do Wooly Bully, a Little Red Riding Hood. That was the other hit.
Okay.
Something else. And we would do a fatback version of Crossroads.
Oh, nice.
And, I mean, he was the real deal as far as a singer.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean fatback?
In other words, it's that hard 2 and 4 on the, there you go. Standing at the crossroads, down, down.
Okay.
That's that Memphis thing.
Sure.
And I mean, he had it wired.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so, he was already in his 80s and he's hitting those notes, and I'm going, I want to be him when I grow up.
That's cool. Well, I really enjoyed that tune, man. That was really cool. And then I checked out a bunch of your stuff, and I'm going back to your website this afternoon. I'm going to pick up a couple of Mark Newman albums.
Mm-hmm.
The song Scapegoat, like the blues. I'm a big blues guy myself, so I loved what I was hearing, man.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So, all right, so let's go back to the beginning. So, you're originally a Long Island guy, right?
I was born in the Bronx.
Oh, the Bronx.
Hence I'm a Yankees fan, but I've been living on Long Island, most of my life. I did live in Atlanta in the 70s for a year, and then I lived in LA for 5 years, and then I came back to New York.
Okay. Always working musician, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You live in the dream.
Almost.
Wow.
I pay my bills,
That's that's all we can ask for, right? I mean, that's how many musicians or wannabe musicians can say that, right?
True.
Before we go any further, Mark Newman, let's see. So you can see him in one form or another. Bows in Greenlawn with the Mark Newman Band. That's Wednesday the 16th.
Yeah.
The 19th at Oyster Fest in Oyster Bay. That's a great time. I've been there several times. The Merrick Street Fair. That's October 27th.
Right.
November 8th, Swing the Teapot in Floral Park. And November 9th, this is what I want to hear about. You're doing a Stephen Stills tribute in Huntington. Tell me more about that.
Nirma. Are you familiar with that?
I know them, yeah.
So, they'll take an artist. It's called the New York Roots.
I can't remember.
New York Roots something.
Music?
Yeah, music. Let's go with music. Association or something like that.
Sure.
This guy Tom Ryan heads it up. So I actually I played South by Southwest with him a few years back.
Nice.
I backed him up with with Rich Lanahan and a whole bunch of people, and then they backed me up on some stuff. And
nice.
We had a great time. Anyway, so he kind of heads that up, and they'll pick. Like I think I did the one with Neil Young a few years back.
But so every year everybody's playing songs by one person?
Yeah, they stopped for a while because of the pandemic.
Okay.
But, they started picking it up again. So I just did it. He did it at his house over the summer, and we did the Stephen Stills thing there. So he wanted to do it again. So that is November 9th.
Nice.
And that would be, I forgot, it's like some kind of a hall up on the water in Huntington.
Do I have it? No, I don't have it. Okay.
The last one got rained out or something, right?
Oh, what happened was we hit the last chord, and the sky opened up.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
What Stills tune did you do?
I'm trying to remember. I did a lot of the Manassas stuff.
Nice. I am a crazy Stills fan. I'm a
you should come.
Stills fanatic. Yeah, I just might. November 9th.
I don't know if they have a guest list, but call me.
I might just take you up on that because I'm a big Steven Stills guy, and that Manassas stuff. His pretty much Buffalo, Springfield, CSN, CSNY, and Manassas, like those 8 to 10 years. I don't know if anybody put out a stronger body of work in that time frame or just within their 8 years. It was like every single song the guy put out was a masterpiece.
I know his solo stuff, like what was it? Something Woman? Was it? No, I want to say L.A. Woman. That's
Rock and Roll Woman.
Rock and Roll Woman. Thank you.
Yep.
What an amazing song.
Yep. He and then mid to late 70s kind of. I mean, he still has some great tunes, but yeah, the first maybe 8 to 10 years of his career is just it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's let's see. So all right, so we'll go to so grew up in the Bronx, Long Island. So and then went to L.A. to like trying to get a record deal or something?
Yeah, I when I lived in Atlanta, there was a band called Sweetwater. They played Woodstock. They were the only electric band that played on the first night.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
The bass player was playing with, let me get this right, Oliver, that did Good Morning Starshine.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I opened up for them at this club in Atlanta, and we got in a conversation, and he said, I'm looking to put together something in L.A. if you ever get out there. And I stayed in Atlanta for a year, and I called him and I said, I'm coming to L.A. And we started a band together, and with former members of Sweetwater, and Warner Brothers was paying for all our tapes.
Sweet.
And but what happened?
Well, then they own them, yeah.
What happened was, by the time we finished everything, we were getting really good response, and especially from Warner Brothers, because Sweetwater was on Warner Brothers. So, no, sorry, I clear my throat until 3 a.m. Anyway.
Yeah, this is early for you guys.
Oh, yeah. So,
Sweetwater, Warner Brothers interest.
So anyway, I did stop doing drugs years ago, folks. So by the time it got to the A&R people, disco came out, and the new wave thing hit, and that was like 76.
Yeah.
And
Saturday Night Fever was 77.
All of a sudden, like, we weren't getting return phone calls. It's a very common story.
Right.
It's like flavor of the month thing, because Sweetwater was a very early progressive band, and I mean, I shouldn't even talk to them. They didn't have a guitar player.
Wow.
So, their lineup was keyboard, bass, cello, a girl singer, Nancy Nevins,
right,
percussionist, and a flute player. And they had no guitar player.
Wow.
And they jammed a lot. They would just stretch things out, and so I don't even know why he wanted to have a guitar player, but I really liked their music, so I moved to LA with the intent on working with Fred Herrera from Sweetwater.
Okay.
And I stayed there for 5 years, and like I said, it's labels. It's like flavor of the month kind of thing.
Well, yeah. So, here in the comedy world, it's the same. Pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
So then I moved back to New York after that, and the punk thing was bigger here than it was in LA. So,
yeah. Right.
And I didn't want to go down that road.
The punk road.
Yeah, I mean, I played with people. I would back people up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun, but it's just the material I was writing was like, it's not going to work.
Well, yours because it's more blues based.
It's blues based, yeah. I wouldn't call myself a blues artist, but I get branded with that because I play slide guitar.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'm surprised you say that. How would you? So, what would you call
Americana?
It oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is a thorn in my side because it's such a wide genre, and Nashville has kind of commandeered that title because anybody that's not pure country at this point, where they all sound like 80s rock records. So if you grow a beard and wear overalls, and
right.
Sorry, I'm being unkind. There are some amazing Americana artists, but it's a very, very wide genre at this point. I just played Americana Fest, and the difference between the stuff I was playing and some of the other people on the showcase I did, I mean, it was just a very different. I backed up one of my friends, this guy Jeff Lake, and his stuff is way different than mine. And then the girl that went on before us, her stuff was leaning into country.
Right.
But she was kind of a soft singer, and so Americana.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So whatever if they don't know what to do with you, I mean, look, one of the greatest Americana bands in the world, the Grateful Dead. Just the fact, I'm not even a Deadhead, but they cover real Americana songs and make it their own.
Even more so, Jerry Solo. He does a lot of that,
Yeah.
or did a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we opened up for the Jerry Garcia band at BB King's, my original project. And I mean, they cover old R&B tunes and old Americana tunes, and then there's his work with David Grisman also.
Right.
So, and I'm sure the people that head up the Americana thing recognize this, but I mean, the Dead are they're their own category.
Yeah.
So,
I actually, and you've mentioned the Deadheads. I feel that they've kind of taken away a little bit from the Dead because anybody that hears Grateful Dead, they just naturally associate the Deadheads and acid and mushrooms, and they don't really listen to the music. You listen to their albums. Most of their albums are fantastic, but the whole Deadhead scene just kind of ruins it for a lot of people.
Yeah, I shouldn't even tell this story. Anyway, my girlfriend and I, and with Mark Bonder, we have a Little Feat tribute band.
Oh wow!
I swore I would never be in a tribute band, and my girlfriend and I having breakfast, and she said, "You know Naomi."
Yeah.
So, and Naomi is a Deadhead, so she's saying, "Well, what tribute band would you be in?" And I said, "None," because I hadn't finished my coffee yet.
Yeah.
So after I got over being grumpy, she said, "What about Little Feat?" Now I'm a huge Little Feat fan, and I'm having so much fun with this band. I have to warm up on the way to every gig because Lowell George was like an amazing singer, an amazing slide player, and an amazing songwriter to me. And I pulled in Mark Bonder and another local guy, Dave Diamond. Drummer.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And a few other people, and we're playing Daryl's house actually in January.
Very nice.
I think January 15.
What's the name of the band?
It's called Sail and Shoes.
Sail and Shoes. So, that's great, man.
Yeah. So, where was I going with that?
I have no idea.
So, sorry, folks. I'm useless until like 2:00. So,
I'm useless all the time.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
But anyway, but that to me, that's a very Americana band.
Okay. Yes. Sure.
And but so I pretty much just do my original stuff. I work as a sideman for other people, and I do the Little Feat thing. And
I mean, I guess it's, especially here on Long Island, it's hard to avoid the tribute band thing, especially if you want to play on Long Island. It just seems like Mr. Beery's and Bethpage. Steve Beery's in here every Tuesday. He does a show, and in fact, he's in here tonight too.
Oh, send him my best.
Oh, you know Steve?
Yeah.
I'll tell him. But just I can't think of another place off the top of my head, a bar or club where where they stick to original bands.
Still Partners.
Where's that?
In Seacliff.
Okay, Still Partners in Seacliff.
Yeah, and the other place, the reason I'm playing, and the other place that's like, just right over the border at Greenlawn is where we're playing next Wednesday. Bose. Now that's pretty much a Deadhead bar.
Oh, okay.
During the week they'll have original project. Mike Nugent plays there. So Wednesday nights you can go hear original bands pretty much.
It's still a shame though that we just named four, maybe five places, and that's it. Like that's a shame. That's a shame.
And you know what? I get it. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I get it.
Right.
People will go. Look, if you go to see one of your favorite bands, you're going to pay well over $100 a ticket.
Right.
If you want to see the Eagles, forget it.
Forget it. Yep. Well, Billy Joel, Mohegan Sun is $5. The face value is $5. For the cheapest seats is $500.
Right. So, so people will go and see a tribute band, and pay $20 to get in.
Right.
And they can sing along with the band. Now, I'm always flattered if I'm playing somewhere and I see somebody's lips moving, singing,
Right.
And in fact, I was playing at the Jones Beach Band Shell, opening up for a tribute band, and I was playing acoustically with Naomi. So this guy yells out, "Play Dead Man's Shoes." It's one of my songs off my first
Nice.
CD. And I took off my sunglasses. I'm leaning in going, I went on the mic, I said, "Do we know each other?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, my name's Bruce."
Okay.
So I played it,
Yeah.
and he comes over to me, and he found my music on either Spotify or I went,
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yep.
I was shocked.
And then did Rick Eberly demand a cut of your album that guy bought? Because Rick.
So you know Rick Eberly.
I know Rick, I'm just teasing. Oh, and we grew up with Guy. He's a Hicksville guy.
Right.
Yeah, they started an agency now,
Mhm.
and that's who booked us into Daryl's house.
Oh, very nice.
And this guy Bruce Walker, and a shout out for
Bruce. Babylon Bruce.
Babylon Bruce.
Yeah.
is now working with them, but
that's wild.
He wasn't working with them at the time. This is a few years ago. I'm going, who the like
You can say it.
who the fuck would yell out "Dead Man's Shoes"?
That is
It's a really
fantastic.
bizarre song. I mean,
Yeah. Wow, that's great, man.
You were talking about venues before. I was
Yeah.
I was telling Tony before the show about Morel's.
Right. We used to. Naomi and I ran a song. That's where I met you.
Right.
We ran a songwriter thing for years, and we did it in Morel's every once a month, and we had some great, like Frank came through there. We had some great songwriters come through there.
What songwriters? Meaning people who come in to showcase their original stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was great. We had this guy Rob Morsberger, who unfortunately passed. He has an album out. What's the name of the album? Look up Rob Morsberger. The guy was one of the most brilliant lyricists I've ever met.
Oh, no kidding.
And he
Wow.
did an album about the guy that got blackballed in Hollywood, the screenwriter. He did Exodus. He did Spartacus.
Yeah.
Drawing a blank. Anyway.
Yeah, me too.
And Ballad of I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
yeah, I can't find it either.
So, but what a great song. We had some great people come through there.
Wow.
the way they set it up was great because it would be 4 people on stage, sitting next to each other, and they would just do one song at a time and take turns.
Oh,
so it
okay.
wasn't just your set, then someone else's
Right,
set.
right.
You know,
did you try to like join in? Or
sometimes.
Like,
Well, yeah. One of the great things about
That's
it
cool.
was it was like a songwriter circle, and if somebody, one of the songwriters, was also a fairly decent musician, they would just start doing fills or things.
Mm-hmm.
I had only one problem with that in all those years. I won't mention names, but one of the guys wrote these brilliant instrumental pieces on guitar.
Yeah.
And another guy had a pedal board that he always had for his acoustic. The guy gets to the bridge, the instrumentalist.
Yeah.
The guy with the pedal board starts playing percussion with a wah-wah. It was in perfect time.
Okay.
And I could see steam shooting out of the guy's ears. The guy calls me the next morning and says, I was about to stop playing, and I went, you can't do that.
Right.
I said,
right.
I encourage people to to help each other out.
Sure.
And,
Right.
He said, my stuff's written in stone, and give me a break.
I think I know. I'll ask you afterwards. I think I know.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
So it's not you?
No.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I just saw this guy when I was in Nashville. I stopped to see the guy with the pedal board. He moved down to Nashville, and I was telling him this story because he had no idea that the guy
Right.
called me the next
Yeah.
day.
Right.
And he goes, "Well, I'm sorry."
I mean, that's the whole point of the thing, right? You just
Yeah.
people are trying to join, almost like a jam kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Right? You just
I mean, you try not to step on the songwriter,
Right.
but,
Right. Being it's their own song.
Right.
It's like you hope it doesn't turn into like I went to a jam session last night, and the guy I was playing with, the other guitar player, I forgot what I was singing, but he was stepping all over the vocals, like with his overdrive on 11. I'm going, okay,
Yeah, right.
And the guy's a friend of mine.
Yeah, right.
And now he's not. All right, so we are about halfway through, and we have not had a song yet.
Oh.
I am actually going to start this off with. I have requests.
Okay.
So we were talking about Stephen Stills, so I'm going to request either a Stephen Stills song, or you do, which kind of surprised me. You have a cool version of New York mining disaster, 1941.
I'll do that one.
Wow.
All right. I know you like that song a lot too.
Love that song.
What made you decide to cover that song?
9/11.
Ah, okay. Oh, interesting.
I was.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's not really a greatest hit, but it's a song by the Bee Gees.
It's their first hit.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a hit, really? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Really, that was their first hit.
That in Massachusetts got them on.
Oh, okay.
Going.
So I was playing with a friend of mine, a guy Don Olson, and so I played the original version, and he said, it was an acoustic gig. It was pretty, people was like sitting right there, and somebody said, "Yeah, that's pretty appropriate."
Right.
And I went, "Yeah, she's right." So I was screwing around with Dadgad tuning, which is for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. You retune the guitar to D, A, D, G, A, D. So.
Okay.
So it sounds like that.
That's a very Stills thing to do too.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Stills used to tune his guitar to all E's with one B.
Oh, okay.
So I sat in with I subbed for Tommy Williams with Wondrous Stories, and they covered. We played Great South Bay, and they covered the Deja Vu album.
Mm-hmm.
The whole album?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool, and but I had to retune the acoustic to the Stills thing. So it was a lot of fun. Those guys are such great musicians.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kenny's been in here numerous times. Yeah.
Yeah. of something happening to me. There is something I would like you all to see. It's just a photograph of someone that I knew. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you cause a landslide, Mr. Jones. I keep straining my ears to hear a sound. Maybe someone is digging underground. Or have they given up and all gone home to bed, thinking those who once existed must be dead? Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you cause a landslide, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. Event of something happening to me, there is something I would like you all to see. It's just a photograph of someone that I knew. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you cause a landslide, Mr. Jones.
Very nice.
great.
That was great. Yeah. When you came up with like an intro, like,
Yeah.
which is not on the original. So is that something that you wrote yourself? And like what makes you decide to? You come up with something like that. What makes you decide to use that for like somebody else's song, basically?
Well, first of all, if you're gonna, I mean, in my opinion, if you're gonna cover somebody else's song,
Yeah.
and you're gonna put it on your record,
Yeah.
I mean, there's two ways to go. If you're doing a Beatles song, you're pretty much going to do it like the Beatles, or try to do it like the Beatles did,
Right.
and probably fall short.
Right. Well, but then you take Earth, Wind, and Fire, who did the same thing. They made their own intro. They made their own arrangement
the
of
ultimate
"Got
is
to Get
like
You Into
Joe
My Life."
Cocker doing "A Little Help from My Friends."
Exactly. Sure.
So,
right.
But I wanted to
You're
make
right,
it,
yeah.
you know. Just didn't want to do it like the original.
Right,
I was
okay.
working with a producer, this guy Keith Lenton, who's played with a whole slew of people. And he said in his British accent, he said, "Listen, Newman, if you're going to do this song, you have to make it your own." So I went home and I had just started screwing around with Dad Gad tuning. And I was sitting there just going, okay, there's the intro.
Right, okay.
And then
Oh,
I had
that's
to
cool.
figure out the rest of the chords in Dad Gad.
Right.
So
that's wild. I love hearing about that stuff. Andrew Fremda says there's a lot of people in the music industry getting blackballed right now, if you know what I mean. I think that's a Diddy reference.
I would love for Barry Gibb to hear that version, though.
Yeah, that was cool. That was great.
I actually sent it to the Bee Gees.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
I never heard back.
Yeah. And I think you said it when you first started. That sounded like if Stephen Stills was to cover that song, that's exactly what
Exactly.
probably how he'd do it. Yeah. All right, so your latest album, Empirical Truth, am I saying that right?
Yes.
What does that mean? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things that we just all accept as being right. So, a lot of the subject matter in my songs. I did a songwriter showcase in this. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was playing it at Eppie's place, my father's place.
Sure.
And I forgot who I was opening up for, but this girl said to me, "You really don't write love songs, do you?" I went, "Come to think of it, no." And like a lot of the subject matter, like the last few songs I wrote, which aren't on Empirical Truth, but it's kind of a continuation.
Okay.
I read about the Tulsa Massacre in 1921. We never learned that in school. We never heard about it. That was when the white community in Tulsa, due to a misunderstanding of a young black man, got in an elevator, and there was a young white girl operating the elevator, and she screamed, and that set off a whole shitstorm basically.
Yeah.
And the black community in Tulsa was called Greenwood, and it was called the Black Wall Street.
Okay.
Because all these people came back from World War One, they settled in that area, and they were doing very well financially, and there was a lot of jealousy within the community. So I wrote a song with this guy Walter Roberti. He sent me a track, and he said, "Can you put lyrics to it?" Which is which is the hardest thing to do for me. I mean,
okay.
But I did, and even said, "Don't make it too controversial. I still teach." He said,
yeah.
So, I said, "Are you okay with this?" And I sent him the lyrics. So anyway, the song is about a guy who grows up in Tulsa, leaves Tulsa to make his way in Dallas, and is going back to visit family, and keeps hearing rumors along the way about what's going on in Tulsa, and he gets there, and the whole area is just burned to the ground.
Oh wow!
So so I tend to write things like that. The last song I released was "At the Border."
Oh sure, I saw the video.
I can't put on my shoes in the morning without watching the news. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm pretty much glued to the news every morning, and I switch around. I go, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, and try and form my own opinion.
Yes,
So,
which is the way it should be done.
yeah. So, I was watching the Ukrainian situation, and all these, only the women and children were allowed to leave, and they were being transported over the border into Poland, and some of them got as far as Spain. I mean, they were just, and the men had to stay.
Right.
So, and then it's almost like 10 seconds later, it was back to the Mexican-American border, and I just started writing. So,
right.
And
okay.
again, I try to write it from a person who's going through it. Not that I have that experience, but just from watching and all the talking heads talking about it.
Sure.
Try to write it about like somebody's perspective on it that I could only imagine.
Right.
So.
The album is called that. So is that like a running theme throughout the album?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, one of the songs I have is called "One More Song About a Highway," and again, it's kind of a love song, but it's more about a guy who's the factory closes. He's got no job, and he's got to support a family. So he winds up driving long haul tractor trailers, and he's gone a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the last verse, your picture's on my dashboard, right next to the kids.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I tend to write things like that. Did I write a love song? I don't know. On that album, I don't know. I also wrote a song about the Dakota pipeline.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
you're some heavy topics going on here.
well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not knocking it.
So this album was me just complaining. Non-stop.
That's fine. Those will make some great songs.
So.
That's funny. And I see. Oh, all right. Let me. Oh, well, I got to get that. Go ahead. You can.
Okay.
Keep.
Do you want to do another song? We can.
Go ahead. Yeah, do another song.
Okay, do another song.
All right.
You want to do it? What was it? Across the border? Is that what it was?
At the border.
At the border. You want to do that one?
Yeah, you might want to turn the mic volume down. I'm pretty much at the top of my range.
I dreamed this long ago, I knew this day would come. She wore me in my dreams in some ancient town. My children never had to live on the run. Journey has begun. At the border, can't be free. At the border, come with me. At the border, we will survive. At the border, love is alive. Carry what you need and leave the rest behind. Be sure to take what keeps you warm and dry. We'll find a place where together we can lie. I'm by your side. At the border, can't be free. At the border, come with me. At the border, we will survive. At the border, love is alive. Anyway,
Nice.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. There's more to it.
Okay.
But once again, I just did a showcase in Nashville, and I start the song and I get to the first line, and I'm like, my mouth is open, going, "What the fuck is the first line?"
Oh no!
and my friend of mine was there, who knows the song.
Oh gee!
And I stopped and I went, "Jeff, what's the first line?"
Oh,
He
that's
couldn't remember
funny.
either. So,
Oops.
I have a song I want to play.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do it.
And this is for you, Frank.
Oh, thank you.
I have to pull up the lyrics.
I can see.
I'll just play a verse and a chorus.
Let me see.
Well, there's fools go stacked up all around him. killing in the market on the wharf. And the children left King Midas there as they found him in his counting house where nothing counts but more. Sing it. And he thought he heard the echoes of a penny whistle band and the laughter from a distant caravan. And the brightly painted line circus wagons in the sand fading through the door into summer.
For all you Monkey fans out there.
My favorite Monkees song. Frank and I had talked about this song.
Yep.
And
thank you for that.
I had to do it.
That's your favorite Monkey song?
That is my favorite. Well, I love Last Train to Clarksville.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
In fact, I play with this band on the road called the Hitmen, and
that rings a bell.
it's not Russell Alexander's band. Russ, I'm giving you a shout out here, but it's not his band. He's the Hitman Blues Band. This is a band with Steve Murphy on drums, Mike DeMeo on keys.
Oh, sure.
Tommy Williams from Wonder Stories.
Nice.
Tony Tino and myself. And the gimmick with this band is that everybody has played with somebody famous.
Oh, okay.
Which, when they called me and asked me to do this, I went, people are going to pay to see this? So I almost talked myself out of a gig. So, and we cover Stepping Stone, the Monkees version.
Right, yeah.
And the whole repertoire is, it's all whoever's in the band, whoever they played with. That's the repertoire.
Oh, okay.
So
That's a cool concept. Yeah.
So I played with Bobby Whitlock, so we closed the show with Layla.
Nice. Yeah, that's on my list of questions to ask you about that.
Well,
Bobby Whitlock is a very underrated treasure, man. Yeah.
One of my heroes, and even back when I was doing things I shouldn't have done, even though Clapton was the star, that other vocal pulled me in every time.
Yep.
I'm going, and I'm looking at his picture going, how can this guy put out that sound?
Right.
Anyway.
And he's still.
Yeah. I just played with him a few years ago.
No
so
kidding.
what happened was, he was kind of out. I mean, there's footage of him on Facebook doing different things with his wife. I mean that musically.
I was about to check it out.
Yeah. So he posted that he was looking for a guitar player. So one of my friends called me up. He was friends with him on Facebook. He goes, go on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
And I mean right now. And he goes, go to Bobby Whitlock's page. So sure enough, he's looking for a guitar player.
That's crazy.
He was doing a duet with his wife, an acoustic duo, and the first set was both of them on acoustic, and then he would switch the piano, and she would play alto sax.
Oh, wow.
She's a great musician.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so she... in fact, when I was surprised, there's footage of them doing Layla, but they do it like this. They do they start in 12/8. It goes. I'm not gonna sing. And she's just wailing on the sax. And then they get to the chorus and they do it, They do it the way it is on the record.
Right.
So anyway, it turned out he was looking for a different electric guitar player for every gig, just to keep it fresh. So
for every gig?
Every gig. They had a tour booked, and it was just the two of them. It wasn't a full band.
Wow.
So they wanted somebody to do all the solos. So I sent him my bio, and he looked me up, and he got back to me in 15 minutes.
Oh.
I was like,
damn.
Wow.
Are you kidding? And he said, you sound great. Can you do this gig in Massachusetts? I never asked him about money. I would have paid him.
Right, yeah,
so
sure.
I went up to Massachusetts. We do sound check, and I said, do you want me to address all the Clapton stuff from the Layla record, or do you want me to stay away from it since you're doing an acoustic thing? And he goes, said, you sound great. Make it your own. Just don't fuck up Layla.
Okay.
No pressure.
So, and he paid me.
Nice.
In the dressing room, he was very generous.
Yeah.
And I've had two situations in my life where this voice came through to me in my monitor, and it was him, and when I worked for Sam Moore, and I was in heaven on both those gigs.
I bet.
But Bobby Whitlock, Naomi was with me, and she was watching the show, and she said, I've known you for almost 20 years. I've never seen you smile that much. I was in heaven.
Yeah.
To me, it's like I could die tomorrow. It doesn't get any better than this.
That's great.
Yeah. What a voice that man had.
Still.
Yeah.
And he's painting now.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh,
I've seen that painting.
And his paintings are great.
Yeah.
And I went out to dinner with him and Coco, his wife, and this was a few years ago. And he said, yeah, I'm just kind of painting now. And he said, I just went out, bought a canvas, bought some acrylic paint, and probably threw out the first 100 things I painted.
Sure, yeah.
And then I just kept going. He said, nobody ever showed me anything. Same with music. Nobody ever showed him anything. He just did everything by ear.
Wow.
He's like a Renaissance man.
Yeah, that's tremendous. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he is painting more because he's like physically he can't handle the road anymore, right? I think that's. I thought I read that somewhere.
I know Coco really protected him during the pandemic.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay.
She said, no, you're staying home. We're both staying home.
Yeah. Right.
I went down to Austin. Actually went down to Dallas over the holidays right before the pandemic, and I called them and I said, "How am I going to be in Dallas? You playing anywhere?" And they go, "Yeah, bring your guitar." So
nice.
So I went and did another gig with them, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, so you've kept a relationship with them since?
Yeah, I had dinner with them twice.
Okay,
and
that's
Naomi stays in touch with Coco.
Right.
And
wow,
yeah, and
that's
they're
great.
the nicest people.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah,
that's fantastic. How cool is that, man? You ever in a million years think that you're going to be on stage with one of the Derek and the Dominoes? Like,
no,
that's I mean, and that's got to be. That's probably on my top 10 albums of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great album that is. All right, so tell us about Sam Moore. We've talked about him several times here. How did that happen?
I'll try and give you the Cliff Notes. There's a jam session. There was a jam session every week on 72nd Street. I'm trying to remember the name of the club. It was called Dark Star.
Okay.
It was downstairs, and my friend Ivan Bodley, who's just he's an amazing bass player. He's like 6'6", covered with tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
He was Sam Moore's music director.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, he took my number because he could tell I grew up playing that kind of music.
Yeah.
Just, and anyway, he took my number and he asked me to do a few gigs with him. And I knew he was Sam Moore's music director, and I kept making jokes about it. And I said, "Can you give me the guitar player's address so I can wait for him to leave and run him over?" So, anyway, so oh yeah, there I am in living Technicolor, standing behind Sam. Anyway, so I went to another jam one night and I missed Ivan. He came in after me, and a friend of mine. And they had a conversation. He said, "Oh, you just missed Mark." Anyway, he called me the next day, and he's just saying, "Hey, sorry I missed you. By the way, can you do a gig with Sam Moore?" I couldn't dial fast enough.
Yeah, right.
There was one gig at South by Southwest, and the other one was outside of Barcelona.
Wow.
And it turned out that the other guitar player was leaving, who was a great guitar player. We knew each other. We weren't close friends. And he couldn't make the gig. I don't know what happened. And I went to the rehearsal. I only did one rehearsal with Sam.
Wow.
And he knew that I played with Sam the Sham because we were both on the same bill one time.
Oh, okay.
And I was introduced briefly. He didn't remember me, but I said to him, "We've met before." I told him, I named the, I mentioned the gig. It was up somewhere. I think it was Mohegan Sun, and he said, "You tell Sam that you're playing in my band from now on."
Wow.
Wow.
And I worked with him for 10 years.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to Tokyo 10 times, 10 years in a row. Or then we missed 1 year because I think we played one of the inaugural balls when Obama got elected.
Okay.
And
wow. Yeah, I think I've seen. Isn't there footage of that on YouTube where Obama's on stage with him?
No, but
I thought I saw something.
I don't know. Obama didn't show up at that. This was an unofficial, gala, but it was done by the people. It was the Creative Coalition inaugural ball.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't one of the 10 officials, but everybody in Hollywood was there.
Yeah.
Sting sat in with us.
Yeah, I have that picture too.
And so did Elvis Costello.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah. And Sting was really cool. I went over to him and I said, "Can my girlfriend," and Naomi was on the gig. She was one of the backup singers. And I said, "Listen," I said, I feel funny asking you this, but can we get a picture with you? I said, "I'm not going to put it on Facebook." I said, "Just for us." So we get on either side of Sting, and Sting looks at me and says, "Let's put the rose between the thorns, shall we?" And he puts Naomi in the middle.
That's funny.
And we have that picture.
There it is.
He's a player, that Sting.
Yeah.
And then you get that bald prick in the background who's
no,
photobombing.
that guy, that's Bob Funk, who's one of the Uptown Horns.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, I just worked with him on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I get to work with the Uptown Horns every so often.
That's amazing. Holy cow.
We're talking about Sam Moore, just in case anybody doesn't know who we're talking about. We're talking about Soul Man, the guy that sang Soul Man.
Right.
And one rehearsal. I mean, I guess you just had to learn all the hits,
all the
right?
stuff because I grew up in
Hold on,
bands
I'm
playing
coming.
that stuff.
Right.
We did one rehearsal with just the band in New York, and then we got to Austin, and we had one rehearsal. And again, I knew all the stuff from playing in bands. So,
are you on? What was? Sam Moore made an album, like maybe.
No,
you're not on that.
Overnight Sensational.
Oh yeah.
That was before I joined. Before I
okay.
joined the band, and Sam's wife said, "Okay, we need now." Everybody on the food chain played on that record.
Yeah, right.
In rock, I mean, Springsteen's on there, Sting.
Yeah. Paul Rogers.
Paul Rogers, yeah. I'll tell you another funny story about this, but so Bon Jovi's on the record too.
Fucking
he sings
hate Bon Jovi.
"Looking for
him.
Love."
Well,
anyway, so Sam's wife, who's his manager, said, "Okay, we need a guitar player that can play all this stuff," and Ivan called me up and said, and that's when he called me up and asked me to, do that gig.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
You get old enough and you wind up playing all these,
right.
phone rings and you go.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Billy Preston's on that album.
yes,
Yeah.
singing "You Are So Beautiful."
I've heard that. That's a great version.
Yeah.
And he died shortly after that.
Right.
And that would be the encore every night.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So anyway, we're doing a rehearsal. We did one rehearsal maybe a year later. We were doing, he wanted to work in some new stuff. So Bon Jovi sings "Looking for a Love." They changed lines, and so I get designated to sing all the Bon Jovi parts.
Wow.
So I'm telling somebody this, and he said, "Talk about irony. You wait your whole life to play with somebody like Sam Moore, and you're hoping you'll get to sing like Soul Man with him or something."
Right.
And they tell you, you got to sing the Bon Jovi parts. So, nothing against Bon Jovi. I mean, but...
I'll say it. Oh. Yeah. That's what I hear when I hear that guy sing.
Well, I won't argue with you.
But are you now saving people from jumping off a bridge?
By the way, Bon Jovi he's a huge Willie DeVille fan.
Yeah, right.
Willie DeVille did a set at Bon Jovi's wedding. I wasn't in Willie's band yet.
Right, I was about to say, because you did play with him too, yeah.
Yeah, I played with Willie for 3 tours in Europe.
Wow.
Very interesting gig.
Oh yeah.
Very.
Sounds like it was fun. That's what that sounds like.
Willie would take like 2 or 3 gigs to warm up, and then he was on fire.
Okay.
I would encourage anybody who's a Willie DeVille fan to look up, type in Willie DeVille 2008 Bonn, Germany Rock Palace, which is a huge concert venue.
Right.
And Willie was absolutely on fire.
Mm-hmm.
He does a version of Heartbreak Hotel. It's like slow and greasy. and I would play slide guitar on that.
Yeah.
But so would he. He would forget I was playing slide guitar. He was in his own world. All of a sudden, I'm hearing this high D being played, and like
I'm not doing that.
and I'm going, I'm looking at my guitar. I know I'm not playing that note. So I would jump to rhythm. Willie was actually, he sounded on slide guitar. Now he was fairly crude, but he really sounded like an old blues guy.
Yeah.
Playing slide guitar, whereas I'm trying to get really technical with it and trying
Right.
to, oh, look what I can do, And all of a sudden, I went, that's the real deal. I'm going to jump to rhythm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? And now, what about? I'm now showing the picture of you and Steve Lukather from Toto. Well, that's on a delay. You'll see it there in a second.
Okay.
But was that? Did you jam with him? Did you, or you just met him somewhere? Or?
I was playing with John Oates in at the Blue Note in Tokyo. So he's played with everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yep.
think he played on some early Hall and Oates stuff.
Probably.
So he was in the dressing room. So again, I said, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" It's just for me, and I never posted it. So I don't know how you found that.
These they're on your website. So somebody's about to lose their job, I think. But yeah, all these pictures I'm
I did put it
showing.
on my website. Yeah, but I said I didn't put it on Facebook.
Well, true.
It's like
true.
I get annoyed when like somebody famous dies, and somebody may have been in the men's room with this person. And,
Right, yeah.
Anyway, no, I mean some of my friends have played with some pretty famous people, and they'll post a picture of them with that person, and they just died. It's like, give it a rest. Anyway. And I commend them for playing with them. It's great. But we were in the dressing room, and so I asked him, "Can I get a picture with you?" And he complimented me on my slide playing because that's mostly what I was doing with Oates. And I looked at him and I said, "Honestly, I could show you everything I did. You'll be better than me in probably a week."
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's just such a phenomenal guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man. And like you said, he's on everything.
I begged him to sit in. I said, "I got 2 guitars on the stage. There's 2 amps."
Yeah.
I said, "Please." And he said, "Man, I'm off tonight." He just came back from the G3 tour.
Okay.
And he was going through Tokyo, and he stopped in to say hello to Oates.
Nice.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to ask you something about.
Makes 2 of us.
Yeah, I hear you. I'll just show. So I have one more picture. Ian McClagan from The Faces.
Oh yeah, I opened up for him acoustically. He was doing an acoustic gig with just a guy who played guitar and bass, and the guy kept switching off.
Oh wow!
And he was great. And Ian just played piano.
Right. Yeah.
And I got to open up for him at somewhere in Jersey. I ran into him at Americana Fest when I was there with Oates in the stairwell at this club, and he looks at me. He goes, "Hey, everything good?" I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "I gotta get a beer." And he goes,
"Oh, that's funny."
Yeah.
What's is it? What's it like playing with Oates? Like, do people expect? They must be coming just to hear the hits, and they're probably screaming, "Where's Daryl?" Like, do they even just introduce him as Oates? Because there's no Hall.
Well, they do use his first name. John does play. He's got to play "She's Gone."
Right.
We played the stuff that were mostly the stuff that he wrote.
Okay.
He was the more commercial, in my opinion. He was the more commercial writer of the two. He wrote most of the hits.
Right.
They wrote them together. They helped each other because I asked him about that. When I got the gig, again, foot in mouth, I asked him, "Are we going to do Some Things Are Better Left Unsaid?"
Oh, wow.
It was my favorite Hall & Oates song.
Okay, yeah, that's a good tune.
And he said, "Darryl wrote that one."
So that's a fat no right
Whoops.
there.
Again, Oates is a really, really cool guy.
Yeah. I've noticed when he plays the Hall & Oates stuff, himself, it's definitely more soulful, almost like more R&B than, and they were pretty R&B themselves, but
he's got this raspy voice.
Yeah. Which you wouldn't think, but yeah.
Well, if you listen to She's Gone, when they're, what she was.
Yeah, right.
You hear it. He's really good in concert. And he's very personable, and he covered all the hits.
Yeah.
We did "You Make My Dreams Come True," "Man-Eater." He wrote that song. He was somewhere in New York, and some girl walked in dressed in leather from head to toe, and somebody said, "Wow, that girl's a real man-eater." Like,
done. Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow. He wrote "Sarah Smile."
Right.
Now they both contributed to each other's songs, but I'm pretty sure he was responsible for most of the hits.
Yeah.
So those are the ones we covered.
Was I know Becca Bramlett was in his band for a while. Was she there when you were there?
No, but
Oh,
she
okay.
sat in.
She's great, man.
Yeah,
Her
she
mother,
sounds
too.
just like Bonnie.
Yeah.
In fact, Becca was in Sam Moore's band. That's where I met her.
Oh, no
She
kidding.
was
Oh,
one
I
of the
didn't know
backup
that.
singers.
Okay.
And we did a gig in Macon, Georgia, with Sam, and Becca was with us, and Bonnie was the other act.
Oh,
Bonnie
wow.
Bram.
Bonnie Bram. Another one so underrated, man.
Yeah.
She was fantastic.
Yep.
Well, Becca, too.
Yeah, so we did a gig. Oh, she played with us at Americana Fest.
Okay.
And she was killing.
Oh, yeah, man.
She's one of my favorite singers.
She's great. Yeah. She did that one album with Fleetwood Mac, which nobody cared about because Stevie Nicks wasn't on it.
I know.
But it's
But if
a good
anybody can
album.
cover that, I mean.
It's a really good album. Time. That's what it's called. Time. Yeah.
After I was out of Oates' band, I didn't get fired. He moved to Nashville, and he really wanted to reinvent himself as an Americana songwriter, which he's really good at.
Yeah.
So he was using mostly Nashville guys at that point. But they came to New York and they played the City Winery, and Becca was with him, and he featured her, and she sang that old Skeeter Davis song, "The End of the World." Don't they know it's the end of the world?
Okay, yeah.
Naomi and I was sitting there with our jaws on the table with tears streaming down our faces.
There you go.
Yeah, Becca's just incredible.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Andrew from This Is Bon Jovi should have said, "Wait, I'll jump instead." I agree, 100%, Fremder. Okay. Speaking of bands that you've opened for, you've opened for the Doobies?
yeah. I got a
How cool
call
is
on
that?
Wednesday. I think, I'm trying to get the timeline right. The Doobies were playing either a Thursday or a Friday. I got a call 2 days before.
Wow.
Can you open up for the Doobie Brothers with your band? Normally, when they would call me, I'd open up acoustically. Most bands don't want another band setting up.
Sure.
The Doobies have a tremendous setup. Anyway, I called my drummer and bass player, and they already had gigs. So I'm going, shit, what do I do? Now, I was in a band called Dow Jones in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So the drummer happened to be coming in to do a gig with somebody else. I said, I'll pick you up at the airport. We went right to the bass player's house, Tony Montalvo. The drummer is John Michel. Right to his house. We rehearsed. They had never played my new stuff.
Right.
We rehearsed for about 2 hours. That was the next day, actually. And then we went right to sound check and set up. And those guys were amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they sounded every bit as good as my regular band. And
That's
we opened
cool.
for the Doobies.
Yeah.
And it was funny because we were up in the green room, and I was playing acoustic guitar on the first two songs, and Naomi was playing electric. They thought that she was the lead guitar player, and she's looking at me like, what do I say? I said, just go with it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And they were again. They were. You know, sometimes you open up for like somebody famous and they're not too accommodating.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They were such nice guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you met them once.
I met Pat Simmons. I talked real quick once.
What a great
guy! Oh my God!
And a big thrill for me was Bill Payne from Little Feat, who played on all their early stuff anyway.
Right.
Was with them.
Oh wow!
So we got to hang out with Bill Payne and talk to him.
Yeah, before Michael came back, Bill was there.
Right. Yeah. I knew that. I didn't know he played on a lot of their early stuff. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
China Grove. That's him.
That's
playing,
him. Really?
Eighth notes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's cool.
All right. Well, it's just about time for us to go. One thing I do, I'm definitely gonna get you to play another song if you don't mind. But
I don't mind.
But one thing I do before we go, I do this with a lot of the guests. I look at Facebook. And I look to see what mutual friends we have. So I'm going to throw a few names at you. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to say anything at all. Whatever comes to mind.
I'll try and keep a poker face. Go ahead.
Name number one, Bill Lifford.
Oh no. We're not close friends, but I know who he is.
Tremendous harmonica player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Bill is great. Mm-hmm. All right. This name, I'm sure you'll know. We all know. Bob Buckman.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Ran into him in the pizza place in Huntington.
What, recently?
No, a couple years ago.
David
wasn't really important, was it? Anyways.
David Clark.
Yeah, David Clark. I've known him for a long time. What a talented guy.
Absolutely. He's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I'm going to see him at Westbury Music Fair. December 27th, go see David Clark at Westbury Music Fair. A little free plug for David. He's a good friend of mine. He's great. Here's a good one. Eric Shankman.
We're friends on Facebook. I'll tell you a quick story about Eric Shankman, if it's okay.
Yeah, please.
My son was living in. He was with the Spin Doctors. Yeah.
That's him.
So that was my son's favorite band. He was 15 at the time.
Oh wow!
And we were down in Texas. I called their A&R guy, Frankie LaRocca, who's no longer with us.
Right.
And I said, hey, my son's favorite band is playing in Dallas. I said, anything you can do? And what are the odds of getting an A&R guy on the phone?
Right.
He actually picked up.
Right.
So he says, go see this guy. Go look for the tour bus. He got my son in.
Nice.
Because it was, 21 and over.
Yeah.
And Eric Shankman, the drummer, and the bass player came out after the gig, and they were hanging out with my son.
Nice.
He was 15, and he's like,
Yeah.
he was like starstruck.
The bass player, Mark White. He's a friend of mine. He's been in here many times.
Great bass player.
Oh, tremendous bass player. And,
Yeah.
not right in the head, but a tremendous bass player. I'm due to get him back on here. What a great guy, and yes, tremendous bass player.
And the drummer too,
Aaron Kamas.
Yeah, my friend Teddy Kumpel plays with him once in a while.
Yeah, Aaron's one of those who he's everywhere, like you. I met Shankman in '94. I was backstage at Jones Beach, and they played, and they had just a few months prior, they did a show with Roger Daltrey. It was Daltrey was turning 50, so he wanted to do this Daltrey Plays Townsend. They had all these special guests. They were playing Who songs. And I was there for that, too. And they played Substitute with Daltrey. So I just mentioned that to him. Next thing you know, it's got to be like 15 minutes of me and him just talking about The Who, which was the greatest. And then just a few years ago, just prior to Mark White getting kicked out of the Spin Doctors, they played the Paramount. So Mark brought me backstage. And there's Eric, and I got to talking to him. And he had just put out a solo album. It was like a cartoon, like they reach out of screen, all of a sudden they have whatever it is they need. It was just like, I don't know where it came from. Just there was just the CD of the album, and he handed it to me. He said, "Here, take it." This thing was great. And the Spin Doctors' last album, I think, is their best album. Of course, If the River Was Whiskey, I think it's called. Tremendous stuff.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see who else I have here. Larry Russell.
Russell,
bass player. He played with Billy Joel when Billy Joel first kind of came out as a solo artist. He's played in Godspell. Well, yeah, Godspell.
Yeah.
Okay. I know his name. I'm just drawing a blank.
Yeah. Okay. Oliver Strauss.
Drawing a blank.
All right. Last name then Todd Wolf.
Todd Wolf.
I knew you'd get that one. Yep.
Yeah, Todd came to New York. Well, he's from New York, but
Right.
he came into town, and I called up Still Partners, and I said, "Hey, my friend's coming to town. Can you put us in on a Friday night?" And he did, and Todd and I did a gig together, and it was great.
He's great, man.
He is a great guitar player.
He's. I'll never forget the first time I heard him. I was watching Sheryl Crow on TV, but I wasn't looking at the TV at the time, and I heard his guitar playing. I thought it was Clapton. And I just looked up. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I'm telling you, it's the closest thing to Clapton I've ever heard other than Clapton himself. And then I got great, weird story. I saw Sheryl Crow at Jones Beach when he was still with her. And I walked up to him and I said, can I get your autograph? I had the tour program, Sheryl Crow. I said, can I get an autograph? Absolutely. I reached my pocket, my pen was gone. So I just looked at him, I said, I don't have a pen. He goes, I don't have a pen. And we just laughed, and that was it. So I never got the autograph.
It's funny.
But yeah, maybe I'll try reaching out to him.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd love to get him on here. But yeah, what a great guitar player, man.
Yeah, I see him every so often when I go out to L.A.
Oh, yeah? That's where he is now, out in L.A.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing a duo with, I forgot the woman's name.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while, right? Yeah. Great guitar player. So, all right.
In fact, we met because I was playing a corporate gig.
Yeah.
And might have been a wedding actually, like back in the 80s.
Wow.
And he was part of the wedding party or something, and he sat in, and he's playing Key to the Highway, and I took a slide solo.
Nice.
And he took my phone number, and we've been friends ever since.
Nice. That's cool. Who's your favorite slide player?
Lowell George.
Oh, nice. Oh, you jumped right on that.
And it's Lowell George because of his feel.
Mm-hmm.
And probably Sonny Landreth.
Oh, sure.
Who's a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watch him, I go, I'm looking at his hands. How is he doing that?
Right. What about the pedal steel? Like you like Robert Randolph and all that? Do you
Love Robert Randolph.
Tremendous.
I was at Jazz Fest. I was playing with Sam Moore at Jazz Fest, and but I hung around the whole time.
Yeah, sure.
And I went to see Los Lobos, and Robert Randolph went on right after.
Yeah.
Or maybe I have it backwards, but I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
And one of my friends wound up playing with him, Jason Crosby.
Okay.
Wound up playing Hammond with him.
Wow.
That guy, another guy, plays with everybody.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And his first album, Classified. What a great album.
Jason plays with everybody.
Oh, sorry,
right now
sorry.
he's playing with Jackson Brown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Very nice.
But Robert Randolph, what a...
Oh, yeah.
I met him at the NAMM show.
Oh, cool.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems. I've had some interaction with him on Instagram. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
All right. With that, let's. We're running a little bit late, but so what? We get one more song. You haven't jumped in yet, have you?
I almost did on Door to Summer. It's not in tune, so.
All right.
Sorry, I should have given you some warning.
No, it's all good. No worries.
Anything you want. Go ahead.
It's the longest title I've ever written. It's called One More Song About a Highway. I lost my job at the factory. I was not to blame. One day they locked the doors, walked away. I can't support my family, been way hard to survive. So I'm hauling something for someone as I drive and drive and drive. It's one more song about a highway, one more story from the road, one more coffee and no state line with miles and miles to go. The CIA wouldn't have me. Local crime boss said you're out of luck. So I'm hours and miles away from home, behind the wheel of this truck. I carried goods and livestock over roads covered with ice. I carried people across the border
searching for a new life. It's one more song about a highway, one more story from the road, one more coffee and 1,000 headlights, with miles and miles to go. Your picture's on my dashboard, right next to the kids. I miss you all more than you could know. This ain't no way to live. It's one more song about a highway, one more story from the road, one more coffee and another state line, miles and miles to go, miles and miles from home.
That was cool right there.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I bet you must kick. You ever played Treetop Flyer from Stills?
I might have, because I don't
I bet
remember.
you-
I don't remember singing anything on that gig. I just played guitar.
Right. Okay. But in general, do you ever play? Do you know that
Probably
song?
yeah, a long time ago.
I bet you'd kick ass on that. Lynn Riley just joined in. She says hi to all
Lynn.
three of us. Lynn is a friend to all three of us. So there's a name I didn't throw out as a mutual friend. But Lynn is awesome.
I just met her in person. We're friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
I just met her recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, I've hung out with her several times, and she's tight with. Oh boy, I'm drawing a blank on the name. And he's been in here a bunch of times. Lynn. Oh, my apologies.
Help him out, Lynn.
Lynn, who am I talking about? All right, it'll come to me. All right, so with that, Mark Newman, ladies and gentlemen, this was fantastic. That was great guitar work, man.
Thank you.
October 16th at Bose in Greenlawn. October 19th at the Oyster Fest in Oyster Bay. October 27th at the Merrick Street Fair. November 8th, Swing the Teapot in Floral Park. And November 9th, the Nirma Stephen Stills Tribute in Huntington. Friender says that was awesome jam. Clap, 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 he says. Okay. All right. And then, of course, what Mark Newman...
.us. It wasn't a matter of blind patriotism. It was just I couldn't get .com or .net. So
that's interesting. Okay.
So one of my friends turned me on to that.
That's cool. Yeah, go to that website. You can find his music there, and I'm assuming you make more money if they buy your music from the website. So.
I have no idea.
All right, we'll go with that. Johnny Mac. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Lynn. I had a brain fart there. Yeah, with Ray Hulk and Dave Ice. Right. Johnny Mac, what a great band.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been in here a bunch of times.
Johnny played with us on Sailing Shoes a couple of times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
He's
so
great.
cool.
He's great. Yeah. All right, it is time for us to go. So let's see what's going on at Governors this weekend. Some of the comedians you'll see on the Governor's stage this weekend. Jamie Lassau is here tomorrow night. Tom Cotter is here all weekend. Tom Cotter will be Zooming with me tomorrow, by the way, on the show tomorrow. In the Giggle Room, Sean Brown's Mad Funny Long Island Comedy Festival. It starts tonight, and then it's tomorrow as well, and Sunday. Oscar Calazos is playing in the Giggle Room. You can also see at one of the Governor's stages, Chris Barnes, Samantha Ramsdell is playing at McGuire's, Justin Silver. And don't forget, Knockem Dead Comedy, we're playing McGuire's, doing one of our hilarious murder mysteries, December 21st. Don't forget, November 2nd, Clash of the Boroughs, Mike Pachetti and Friends, starring Greg Criticos with Johnny McDonald, Sean Kearns, Courtney Otera, and Andrew Farella. That is a Gov's Comedy Club podcast production. If anybody's in England in November, go see Elio Pace. He's playing some solo shows. Go to eliopace.com. And as I mentioned before, David Clark playing at Westbury in December. And, of course, here at Governor's Comedy Club Podcast, don't forget our Tuesday night show, Hershey and the Keegs. They're up for Best of Long Island for Best Podcast. So go vote for them or you'll be in trouble. And that'll do it. You got anything?
No.
No? You ever playing out again?
I don't know.
bad. All right. With that, so today is Thursday. Here in the studio, we got what's happening tonight? Oh, we got Jake Chapman doing a show tonight at 7:30, and then Primal Scream with Nick Greystone happens at 9 o'clock. And he's got Steve Beery with him tonight. So that's it. That's everything cooking here. Once again, Tom Cotter will be joining us tomorrow on the show. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we don't have a guest for next Thursday yet. We're
yet.
working on it. All right. Yeah. All right. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We'll see you guys later.